You pay your bills, you keep your balances low, and you think you're doing everything right. Then one day your credit score drops out of nowhere. You call the bank, you panic, and you're told, well, that's just how it works.
Hi, I'm Hugo Blankingship, and this is my partner, Tom Christiano. We're consumer protection lawyers serving Virginia and the Washington, D.C. area. And what we see every single day are smart people losing money, jobs, peace of mind because of credit myths that just won't die.
Now, today we're exposing the biggest credit myths still trapping Virginians and showing you how to fight back before they destroy your score, your sanity, and your future. Now, Hugo, the first myth we want to discuss is that checking your own credit report hurts your credit score. Well, now tell us why that's a myth.
Well, that's a myth because you got to understand there's two different kinds of pulls. Okay. One is what's called a soft pull. And the other one is called a hard pull. So if you pull your own credit score, that's a soft pull, and that's not going to have anything to do with your credit score. All right. So make sure that you do it through annualcreditreport.com. Don't sign up for any of these free ones. Do it through annualcreditreport.com. What's the next one, Tom?
Well, another myth is that old accounts should be closed to boost your score, and that if you close an old or unused credit card, it will improve your credit score.
Now, that's a myth, and it's really a bad one because in most of the scoring models, they look at how long you've had credit. So if you have a credit card, let's say that's been around for about 10 years, it's sitting in a drawer and you're not using it and you don't have any balances on it, you think, oh, well, maybe I'll just cancel it. Unless you're paying something for it on an annual basis, whatever you do, don't cancel it because it's going to help improve your credit score. Don't cancel it. Now, the next myth is once you pay off a debt, it disappears from your credit report. What do you think about that one?
That's not true, Hugo. So paid accounts, in even negative ones, can stay on your credit report for up to 7 years. However, they'll be marked paid, which is better than unpaid. Now, this is called the date of first delinquency. So the date of first delinquency on a credit report is the date the account first becomes delinquent. And that's a critical date for the 7-year mark. And many people get that inaccurate or incorrect when they call on the phone, but it's 7 years from the date of first delinquency. And unfortunately, there are situations where your debt can be re-aged and it can create a situation where it stays on your credit report even longer.
Yeah. So, but don't mistake that you don't want to pay those things off. You do. If you have an old debt that's outstanding and you can pay it off, you want to do that. And another pointer is if it's a small debt, say it's under $1,000 or something, and they offer you to pay 50 cents on the dollar, don't take the deal. Pay the full amount. And the reason is because they're going to mark that as paid less than full balance due. And that's going to hurt your score. So if you can, pay the whole thing off.
Right.
That's the next myth.
So, Hugo, some people think that their income affects their credit score and that the more money they make, the higher their credit score will be. Tell us why that's a myth.
Income's got nothing to do with your credit score. What the credit scoring models are looking at is they're looking at your credit utilization, how much credit you have available, let's say $10,000 on 2 or 3 credit cards, and how much you have outstanding, but it has nothing to do with the amount of money that you make. Now, the next myth is as long as you make the minimum payment on your credit, your score is going to stay high. What do you think about that one, Tom?
You know, if you only pay the minimum, it keeps your account current, which is good for your credit score. But high balances also raise your credit utilization ratio, which is a major factor when you're determining a credit score. So if you're only paying the minimum, not only are you paying additional interest on the balance that you owed, but that balance is going to be compared to the high credit limit, which will affect your credit utilization score. And at that point, you might be doing your credit score more harm than good, even though you're making payments on time. So another myth is that all credit reporting agencies have the same information. Hugo, tell us why that's not the case.
Well, all three get their information usually from the same people, but not necessarily. And they don't update at the same time and they don't have the same information. So you have to look at all 3 credit bureaus to see exactly what each one is reporting, because don't assume that they're all going to be identical with each other. They just aren't.
And that's why you really want to check all 3 of your credit reports, not just one, when you think you have a problem, because a creditor could be reporting to Experian but not Equifax, or TransUnion and not Experian. So you really need to check all 3.
That's definitely correct.
So Hugo, here's a big one. The myth of credit repair companies and that they can remove accurate negative information. So, of course, a credit repair company, they can just magically erase all your late payments, right?
Well, that's what they tell you, Tom. And they're going to charge you about $100 a month to be part of their program. And they're going to drag that out for as long as they can, 6, 12 months, telling you, oh, we're working on it. But they're actually doing more harm than they are good, because the the credit reporting agencies, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, they're hip to them. They know what they're doing, and they can smell them out a mile away. And they're going to mark your credit report as credit clinic if they start seeing things coming from a credit repair company. And that's going to make it almost impossible for you to get it corrected. So don't use them.
So, and how do they figure it out? They know because many credit repair companies, they're batch mailing hundreds of envelopes at a time. And interestingly enough, the post office markings on the envelope will not match the location of the address of the person disputing the information. So that is a telltale sign for the consumer reporting agency that it's not actually the consumer signing or mailing the letter to the credit reporting agency. The other thing you want to do when you have a legitimate dispute is sign in wet ink your signature on your credit dispute letter.
Right.
Because that's going to show you're not a credit repair company either.
Yes, definitely. And mail it from your own post office.
The next myth is that paying off a collection account means it has to be removed. Have you heard this one, Hugo?
Yeah, that's definitely not correct, Tom. Collection accounts, any account is going to stay on your credit report for up to 7 years after your date of first delinquency. So just because you paid it isn't going to take it off. And if just because you closed it isn't going to take it off, it's going to follow you for 7 years. So you need to be very vigilant in your credit and credit payment history.
All right. The next myth is I actually talk to people on the phone in our Reston office, and they always want to sue right away. And the myth is if you see something false on your credit report, I'm going straight to court and I'm going to sue the company that reported it. I'm suing that furnisher because they're hurting me and they shouldn't report inaccurate information and they know it's wrong. Hugo, is that a myth or is that true?
That's a definite myth. So we're talking about the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and the Fair Credit Reporting Act has a trigger to it. And in order to trigger your rights under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you have to dispute directly with Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. So you can't go directly to the furnisher. Let's say it's Verizon's reporting that you have this defaulted account that you didn't pay, and you're like, look, I don't have a Verizon account. You can dispute with Verizon all you want, but you got to go directly to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And what's that going to do for you, Tom?
Well, that's going to get you into the process of protecting your rights under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, because the Fair Credit Reporting Act has a mandatory prerequisite of notifying the consumer reporting agency. Yep. And you have to dispute the error with the credit reporting agency that's reporting the inaccurate information. And your right to sue the furnisher is only triggered if they fail to conduct a reasonable investigation after the CRA notifies the furnisher. You simply just can't skip that step.
No, you can't.
Now, Hugo, do you think that one missed payment is a big deal and you don't have to do anything about it because it doesn't matter?
One missed payment, and by that we mean 30 days late. You got to remember that if your account is due on the first of the month, you have 30 days before they're going to start reporting it as 30 days late. So even if you're late and you're paying a late fee, make sure you pay it off or pay a minimum balance or pay something. Get them some money so you don't go 30 days late, because a 30 days late can seriously impact your credit score. And the higher your credit score, say you're in the 800s, 130-day late can drop you 50, 60, 70 points. So make sure you don't ever get any of those. What's the next one, Tom?
The next myth is that all credit inquiries hurt your credit score, and that every time someone checks your credit, your score drops. Hugo, why is that a myth?
Okay, so again, we were talking about soft inquiries and hard inquiries, okay? Now, a hard inquiry is when you actually apply for credit. You say, I want to get this credit card, or you go to a car dealership and you say you want to buy a car. Now, we get a lot of phone calls from clients who have gone to a car dealership and they've pulled 5 credit reports. Is that going to be a problem, Tom?
No, it's typically not a problem, because the credit scoring models, they understand you're not going to buy 5 cars on one day, and that people want to shop for the best interest rate to purchase a car. So they account for the fact that there could be 5 car inquiries. What you don't want to do is you don't want to have a car inquiry on the same day you have a credit account inquiry, on the same day you have a personal loan inquiry, and do 3 more charge accounts with the department store inquiries. That's really what it looks like you're shotgunning credit, and why it will lower your score if you have that kind of inquiry history.
Yeah, and it's not just one day. I mean, it's within a 4-6 month period too. You really don't want to apply for a lot of credit cards at the same time. But if it's a car dealership and they're shopping around for the best credit deal, don't worry about that one. That's going to be fine.
We just exposed the credit myths that ruin more good people than bad spending ever could. But there's one nightmare that hits even harder: when collectors start chasing you for debt that isn't even yours.
Our next video shows you how to handle that step by step. It's called Exhausted by Identity Theft.
We'll show you how to deal with identity theft to restore your credit and good name.
If you found this video helpful, hit the like and subscribe button. Tell your friends and share it, because everyone deserves the truth about their credit, and they should know which ones are facts and which ones are myths.
Well said, Hugo. Protect your score, protect your sanity, and we'll see you in the next video.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.